And we are the Non-Prophets. I'm Denis Loubet, along with Eric Murphy and Anthony Magnabosco, which I guess makes me the special guest. We're coming to you live from the Free Thought Library in Austin, Texas on the 16th of May, 2018, unless you have some other demand on my time. This show is sponsored by the Atheist Community of Austin, a non-profit educational organization for the promotion of positive atheism and the separation of church and state. Sounds exhausting, doesn't it? If you want to learn more about the ACA, you can call their voicemail at 512-220-6561 or visit their website at www.atheist-community.org. But the important takeaway is I don't have to do anything. The Non-Prophets tirelessly broadcast live every first and third Wednesday of each month from 7:30 to 9 Central Time. And you, not me, can join the Non-Prophets chat room by following the directions at www.nonprofitsradio.com. And remember, it's not my responsibility if you don't enjoy the show.
It's Eric's.
A very, very nice intro. Thank you so much, Dennis.
You're welcome. I've had a stressful week, so I figured I'd just...
Well, you know, honestly, I always hoped that I could be in studio on a day when you would do the intro for the Non-Prophets. And here we are. And better yet, we are also joined by Anthony Magnabosco. Anthony, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to be on your show. Totally.
It's going to be cool, man.
We're missing somebody.
It's like...
We're missing
two-thirds of the regular crew. Yes.
I heard Russell hurt his arm or something?
He did.
Yeah?
He did.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
I know how sucky that is, because for the last week, I've been caring for somebody who has only one operational arm at the moment. You know.
Get well soon, Russell.
They'll be
we miss you.
better.
Yeah, definitely, brother. But he has actually helped me prepare for this.
Oh, wow.
So
Good.
that we're a little
Good,
more
good.
we're a little more ready. But before we jump into our first story, everything's doing good. I know, Anthony, I've been seeing you around, going on different things.
Mm-hmm. We saw each other at the American Atheist Conference in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That was about a month and a half ago. Where else did we run into each other?
You know, I've been seeing you online.
I've been seeing you too. I've been trying to catch your show. My kids like your show, by the way.
Hey!
Yeah, the Talk Heathen show.
Oh, thank you.
Appeals to the young kids.
Well, you know, I don't know if the camera's got it, but I'm repping the Street Epistemology.
What is
shirt.
epistemology?
Epistemology?
What is this? What is this Street Epistemology stuff?
Well, from what I understand, your epistemology is your toolbox. It is the set of... It's what you use to decipher the world around you and the ways that you come to knowledge. But, you know, I actually know a guy who knows a whole lot more about that. How would you describe epistemology?
That's pretty close. I'm kind of joking around. I've been doing the street epistemology thing for almost 6 years now.
Well,
the only epistemological weapon I have in mind is a hammer, so I guess everything's a nail.
Hey, the hammer of empathy. The hammer of empathy is all you need, my friend.
A hammer of empathy. That's a great game item.
Sounds like an oxymoron, actually.
It does, doesn't it?
That is actually a callback to the show.
I'm going to look that up on Twitter and see if that's available.
Hammer of empathy.
That is awesome.
Right.
All right. So let's actually, you know what? Let's get to our first segment. Hey, guys, have you heard the God news? Wait.
The God news?
We should have a...
Oh, we have video. Who made that?
Wow. Cool.
That was Phil.
Is that the guy who does the thing?
Yes.
I've seen many of those.
He is
cool.
amazing, and I'm super stoked. He's got things for all of the segments.
Right.
So we're going to do those things.
That's great.
Right?
That's right. I just came in here blind. I didn't, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around the fact we're on YouTube and shit. So
Got to catch up.
Well,
no, I'm such in the Stone Age.
Oh, you're not.
It's like,
No. Stone Age is our first story. We're going to our favorite living mummy, Pat Robertson.
yeah. Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, yes. I
He's
heard about
still
this.
here.
I don't know how. The good die young, right? Is
This
that
guy.
it?
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
Who watches him anymore? Besides people who like to kind of...
Other crypt keepers? And
Besides who
fans.
likes to laugh at what he's saying. Do people really watch this?
Non-ironically? Yeah, it's a terrifying world, man.
That's the sad thing.
It is.
And dangerous.
It is. So this is from Pathos, and it is written by Hemant Mehta. It's Pat Robertson tells woman her disease returned because she wasn't godly enough.
Ooh.
Blame the victim. Damn, it doesn't get more obvious than that,
Right?
does it?
I've seen that people will send letters to him, right? And then he reads them out loud, and then they talk about it a little bit.
That's exactly what this is. That's
He does
exactly
his
what this
advice column nonsense, and it's like always wrong.
Yeah, like the most screwed up Dear Abby you can imagine. Right? I just let me get into the story a bit. On the 700 Club today, Pat Robertson read a sad letter from a woman named Kathy. She'd been sick and prayed for healing and miracles of She'd been sick.
You botched it.
That is
Give me that laptop.
You want to
No,
this?
I'm just kidding.
She'd been sick and prayed for healing, and miracle of miracles, the problem went away.
Oh, okay.
But then the sickness came back.
Oh.
She wanted to know, why would God heal you and then give the ailment back to you after you praised him for healing you?
I bet Pat has an explanation for this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So it goes on. You might think Robertson would give a standard response like, God works in mysterious ways. Oh, actually, I've got this. God works in mysterious ways.
They're jumping up and down in the audience when you did that.
I've got the button today and I'm really excited about it.
I love that.
It's a dangerous thing to hand out.
Instead, he blamed Kathy for allowing the disease to come back. How dare she?
Oh.
Allowing the disease to come back. Wow.
It's her fault.
Yep. If only she had trusted God a little more.
You have to admire the compassion and empathy of this host.
It's typical of their ilk.
It is mind-blowing. I think that he's so old and so decrepit and full of hate that he just doesn't remember how to be human anymore. I think that has got to be it. He just subsists on this.
I wonder if he's really thinking that he's being compassionate by saying that in some
I think he
in some
does.
twisted way.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he's got a rationalization for the crap he spews, but that doesn't absolve him that it's crap.
The fall of man or sin, or you brought it upon yourself because
and here
you didn't send it a
basically,
check.
I mean, the woman is basically saying, well, God pretended to heal me and then went, psych, and gave it back to me.
Yeah.
And he's saying, oh, that's your fault.
Yeah.
So God being a dick is your fault.
You know, so for me not to be just burning down on him as a human being, no, I really, if you have that worldview, you kind of have to take that position, because if you don't,
How do
what are you
crumbles?
left with?
Yeah.
How do you explain it?
No,
Yeah, so you kind of have to come up with something. That's pretty cold, though.
It's really cold.
Stone cold.
You haven't even heard what he said.
What did he say?
He said, all right, I'm going to move forward a little bit. Quote, some diseases, they're like animate creatures, and they want to go back to the house where they live. And you have to fill that void with something. You have to be filled with the Spirit of God. And that disease is gone, but you somehow welcome it back. It isn't God putting it back. The disease wants to come back, and you receive it. So you have to begin to stand against these things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Spirits.
You know,
Spirits and disease.
This reminds
me.
Maybe this is twisted, but it reminds me of, well, she just brought it upon herself because she dressed that way. Like, she deserves it.
Yeah.
You know, it was her fault. It's her fault because she didn't live up to some standard.
Actually, I think it's worse than that. I think that is a very generous way to look at it, because at least if you're assaulted, it happens once. But this happened again. The fact that this came back like the sickness is some screwed up puppy that wants to keep coming back into your home is just...
Did he know anything about this woman? Does he know what she did specifically to make God... possess the disease to come back again?
You know what? I have not done enough research on
Because it's like, you didn't live up to it. And she goes, live up to what?
I'd really like
You're
to hear
not
his
saying anything.
I'd like to hear his justification.
Yeah.
For it. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is he really thinking that?
What
You
what
haven't-
if she's more godly than you?
You
Pat?
know?
What would that say?
That's a good question. If he got sick, ultimately he's going to get sick.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he put himself in that same category. Was this the illness coming back because he let it in? Or is there going to be some other explanation for it? I suspect
Devil.
there's going to be some different explanation.
Demons.
Yeah.
He's different. She
Yeah.
clearly did something wrong, but he's fine.
She didn't pray the right way.
Right.
Maybe it's because she's a woman.
Probably.
He's said some wacky stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love following him because
Oh, I love it too. Do you ever listen? Can we talk about other YouTube channels? There's a YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. There's a guy. Can we?
Well, no,
Go for
it's your show.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, knock yourself out. This is great.
Secular Talk. Kyle Kalinske does a little segment on Pat Robertson every once in a while, whenever he says something crazy, which is semi-regularly.
Yeah.
And he does the greatest takes on these things. And so if somebody likes that story and
Yeah.
likes to hear people take this particular fellow down, I'd recommend checking out his channel.
Definitely that, and cognitive dissonance takes him down pretty commonly.
Oh, yeah.
too. Call him P-robes, and they bring him out, and yeah, they've got some good takedowns.
I need to start listening to them again. I haven't.
have to.
I've listened to them a little bit, but yeah, I've been busy. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry,
that's all
guys.
right.
I love you. Tom and Cecil, I love you guys.
Are we ready to put P-robes back in the ground for another week?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
please. Oh.
Well, Pat Robertson.
Okay, got it. I just caught up to that. Thank you.
No worries, brother. Well, so from what I understand, I think we go to mail. So
You guys get mail.
Yeah, we do.
Love it. That's cool.
right.
I'm trying to think how we might be able to use that in street epistemology somehow. That little animation. That's pretty neat.
I think it is really, really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one that I want to bring up is really quick because it's an aside. And it is when I actually filled in for you, Dennis. Because I did a little intro last week.
Oh, yeah?
And so somebody sent a message that said, listening to the most recent episode of The Non-Prophets, it strikes me that Eric's intro was 1/3 correct in its casting. I tried to do it too. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. Eric had himself filling the Dennis role, EJ in the Russell role, and Russell in the Jeff role. But it really feels like, while Russell is in the Russell, EJ brings the kind of angry ranting that Jeff usually brings. And Eric has a similar cadence to Dennis. Oh, that is one of the nicest things I've ever read.
That's a compliment.
Right?
Now, I shouldn't say that we're an incestuous little organization because that brings up all sorts of worms, but still.
And kind of sounds like Dennis if you play the podcast at 2x speed. Well, now I got to do my Dennis. I always enjoyed listening to the Non-Prophets to keep up with news that would otherwise fly under the radar. Thank you for the good work you're doing. Also, what happened to I Am the Satellite?
Where know.
Was there a licensing deal that expired? Thanks again, Jeff from Montana.
I wasn't really in on all the shenanigans that went on back there.
What do you- what's the I Am-
we lost I Am the Satellite
I
by
Am the
Brian
Satellite?
Steeksma.
Yeah.
I think we decided to.
Oh, the song.
Yeah, the ending
Okay.
song we always had.
I have no idea.
Was there a falling out?
I don't think that was falling out.
I wouldn't
I think
think so.
everything's fine. I think we just decided we've used it for years. So let's do something new.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I am going to give us one more, and then we'll move to some news.
All right.
All right, one more, because it's some hate mail. And we love hate mail. This one is full of a lot of really racist words that I'm not going to say. Never mind. Let's move on.
Wow. You get those kind of mails, do you?
I know. Yeah, it's
It's about Russell.
It is about Russell.
But he doesn't deserve that kind of email.
No, nobody deserves that kind of email.
No. It's totally uncalled for.
No. All right. So let's move on to the next one. And this one I was actually really excited to see. All of these, by the way, we're pulling up from the Twitter. And if you want to add stories, if you want to give us stories to talk about on the show, please submit to our Twitter. And we would be happy to take a look at it and hopefully bring it up on the next show. What is the Twitter? It is...
Oh, man, I don't know.
I was told that there's not one for the nonprofits, but there's just the general ACA one.
Actually, it's at Nonprofits News.
Oh, there is one.
Yeah,
oh, you have
so
a Twitter?
you can tweet
look at that.
Nonprofits News with your news stories, and we'd be happy to take a look at those.
I should really have that in the intro.
No worries. All right, so I'm really, really excited about this. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Christian preacher terrorizes audience at Avengers screening.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I read about that one.
Oh my gosh, I'm really excited.
What did he do?
All right.
He gave away the plot line before the movie started.
No, we would terrorize him for that. Right?
What did he do?
Okay, so a Christian preacher terrorized a movie audience by screaming about God and quote, a passage to heaven during a screening of the new film Avengers: Infinity War. No, there will not be spoilers in this segment. According to multiple reports, Michael Weber, a 28-year-old preacher with Truth and Triumph Ministries, sent a movie audience into a panic after beginning to scream about God and heaven toward the end of the movie screening at the Harkins Mountain Grove 16 Theater in Redlands, California. I lived in Redlands for a while. Oh, wow. I did not realize that was Redlands. CBS News reports armed officers rushed to the Harkins Mountain Grove 16 theaters in Redlands, where people had just finished watching the latest installment of the Avengers franchise, fearing there might be a gunman inside. Witnesses said when the movie was over, a man stood up and started yelling in what sounded like a preacher's sermon. Susie Arias told CBS
I would
News.
freak out.
Right?
I've heard these preachers, they can really bellow it out.
Yeah.
And if you're not expecting it, and especially if you're in a dark theater, I might be a little alarmed.
Well, I'm alarmed seeing them on the street, period, more or less in some non-street corner.
You don't usually expect to see them or hear them in a theater. So yeah, I would imagine you could probably be pretty justified to get a little upset about that. What do they do?
The only thing that would be more terrifying is like the sound of the racking of a shotgun or something. But yeah.
Did somebody tackle him or like how did they?
Let's see. Susie Arias told CBS News, I think when he said, quote, if you were to die tonight, would your passage to heaven be guaranteed?
Oh, geez.
Oh, man.
Not a good thing to yell in a theater.
Yeah.
No.
Shouting God in a crowded theater.
That is not.
That's almost the definition of what is it? The yelling fire in a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Kind
that.
of violates your free speech, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
Did he get arrested or something? Or
Let's see.
Hope so.
Arias said the preacher's screaming sent audience members into a panic, with many people yelling and running for their lives, thinking that Weber was a terrorist. Commenting on the scene, witness Adrian Arias said, that's when the kind of chaos happens in the little exit, where people were jumping over the railings and kind of falling over, twisting their ankles and hitting their head.
Oh, no.
Yeah, people injured themselves trying to get out from there, and I don't blame them.
The Daily News reports at least 2 people were seriously injured trying to escape the deranged preacher's out-of-control rant about death and dying. Raw Story notes, one woman was taken to an area hospital after she jumped over a railing 20 feet down to escape the screening room.
Jeez, okay.
And was subsequently trampled by other attendees trying to flee the theater.
What?
Yep.
Weber, the deranged preacher responsible for the terror, has only been charged with a misdemeanor so far.
Wow. Well, I hope they sue him.
I could see
I
a
hope
lawsuit.
the people who are injured can. I hope they sue the crap out of
I
him.
could definitely see a
damn.
lawsuit on that one. Jeez, that's horrible.
You know, you have to wonder, though, do you think that he would have gotten off a little harsher if he wasn't a preacher?
Or if he was
It's possible.
What if he was a Muslim imam?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Then he'd be in prison. Yeah, he'd be
on
in
Fox
jail right
News.
now waiting. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Damn,
Now,
man.
I want to know more about the story, though. Like, did he say, "Hold on, guys, I'm sorry," or like,
I doubt it.
Did he try to quell it, or was it
Why
just
would
too
he?
late?
I don't know. We don't have that level of detail.
That would be interesting to know if he realized that he was causing a panic and made an effort to stop it.
And that was a heavily editorialized story.
Yeah,
using words like deranged.
Deranged was in there twice.
That was nuts.
Well, credit where it is due. It was written by Michael Stone.
Okay.
If you want to find this article, you can find it on Patheos.
All right.
And I am okay with the editorializing a little bit. I know. Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's good, though, that you notice some of that bias in there. That
we
at least recognize it when we see it and be like, okay, hold on a second.
Well, judge it. But yes, I've read this same story from other sources. And so, yeah.
I don't know. Would I have used a deranged? Maybe if I would have thought to have used it, but I don't know if I would have.
I don't think I ever would have done that because I don't think I would have been qualified to assess his mental capacity.
I think I might have used idiot. But,
careless, reckless.
Yeah, reckless. That's
deranged. I think.
Yeah.
I think you're crossing a line where you're making an assessment about a person's psychological capability.
Is that a diagnosis?
It seems like it is.
Yeah.
It seems like a claim of his mental state. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. I hate to backtrack just a moment, but is Pat Robertson impersonating a doctor here? Giving his medical diagnosis?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a big problem with that because that lady may not seek out a doctor. And
she didn't the first time.
Why would
apparently.
she the second time? And maybe she thinks that this is her fault and she's not worthy of medical attention. And here's this religious figure telling me what to do, and it's really all my fault. And we talk about reckless,
right? So
and he's broadcasting that over the airways.
Double down, lady.
Who knows who's sitting at their house on their couch listening to what he's saying?
Right.
At least this one guy, it was a theater maybe of 100 people. Not to minimize it or anything, but that's a good question. Which of the two scenarios cause
more damage?
Yeah.
I guess the one that reaches more people.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
okay, Pat.
Yeah.
Pat still number one in probable death count. Yeah, who knows?
All right. See, we were just talking about this earlier, the idea of people praying for miracles, period. And just how dangerous the idea of miracles are.
Yeah.
And I mean, we see articles of parents not bringing their children to hospitals and instead wanting to pray, and then their children die. I read an article earlier this year of parents trying to pray their dead child back to life and asking the church to come and lay hands on their dead baby. And they did. Mm-hmm. The church, people showed up and laid hands on the dead baby thinking they would bring the baby back to life.
I think that's coming from a good place, right? But it's broken thinking.
It's
exactly what it is.
That's exactly it. That's a really good description. Mm-hmm. Broken thinking.
That's exactly. I feel for them. But when you're raised with it and you're taught that it's true, and maybe you don't have access to the best care or education or critical thinking, that they're probably trying to make best with what they have.
Well, they work so hard to remain in their bubble. I mean, it must be exhausting.
Well, it's scary to leave the bubble.
Yeah,
it's scary to go into the. Well, I mean, it's scary for us to leave our own tribes, right? I think we find comfort in our own tribes, and so I can kind of empathize with where they're coming from. But yes, it's scary and it's reckless to think that prayer does anything and that there's a such thing as a miracle or anything like that. I think I'm preaching to the choir.
No, but we're here listening, and you get to say it to all the wonderful people watching and listening to the show.
The problem is telling Pat Robert this doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. I would love to.
Not like he doesn't have access to the internet and to information. Mm-hmm. He has to be deliberately ignorant.
Agreed.
He's been believing this for so long. Yeah. He might be beyond reach. Yeah. He might be one of those people. But it would have been fun to run into him 30 years ago and just start analyzing his beliefs a little bit. Alas, I think that ship has sailed.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually looking into the chat right now, and
there's a chat.
There is a chat. There's a live chat. If you're watching and you're not in the live chat, hop in and say hi. It looks like we have Phil, the animator of our segments in.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Phil, I like your work.
Yeah.
It's great.
Sweet.
All right. Are we ready to move to the next email?
Sure.
Or do we have
Should
a
I
different-
do the email or?
If you'd like to, absolutely.
Let's see. I just opened up the emails, while I was sitting here listening to you talk. So they're not spotlessly vetted at the moment. So let's see. We had 2 people respond to beards in the military.
Yeah.
When we had touched upon a subject of soldiers, due to their religious beliefs, wanting to have beards. And 2 people have chimed in. One is Fred and another Jason, saying, telling us that there is actually a valid reason for disallowing beards in the Army and the military in general. I personally served in the Navy. The reason for keeping a clean shave was in the case of a chemical attack, our gas masks had to be able to hold a seal by doing a vacuum test by blocking incoming air by holding your hand over the canister. Someone with a significant enough beard would be unable to pass the test and will be vulnerable to any chemical weapons released while their mask is in place. Allowing him to grow a beard would make him unable to serve in areas where chemical attacks are probable.
That seems like a reasonable explanation.
That's a completely practical reason why you can't
I'm wondering,
have
though, if someone was born with a...
And as far as I'm concerned, practical trumps religious.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're in the military and there's a
Yeah.
risk of life
Your
and
life
your
depends
coworkers
on
and
it.
these people are
Yeah.
depending on you. What if you had terrible acne scars or a facial deformity? Would they hold them to the same standard? Would they prevent them from working in those environments?
It might.
That would be helpful to know.
Might have to have a custom mask made or something like that.
Or if they could show that, hey, no, we don't let these people serve these roles because it's the mask fit that we're really concerned about.
Right.
And
I
the
could see
beard
that
is also a
happening.
part of that. So I could see a case being made for that.
Yeah.
I guess I'd like to see some more
Well,
examples.
I guess I could see that. Yes, you can grow a beard, but that limits what you can do in the military.
Yeah.
Or limits what roles you can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you really want that position, but how much autonomy do you really have? Don't they sort of be like, you have these characteristics, you're perfect for this job, you are now in that job, and shave that beard? Or do they be...
They might do that. I don't know.
yeah,
I've
I'm
never
wondering.
been in the military, so I have
Nor have
no
I.
idea.
Nor have I.
So we actually talked on that in the last episode. There was an article about a gentleman who got to keep his beard because there's a ruling for people who are Sikh religiously and need to keep their beard.
Right.
And this gentleman said that he was a heathen. And not our kind of heathen, but the Norse religious kind of heathen.
Okay.
Believing in Thor and, and those deities. And said, because of my religious beliefs, I need to keep a beard. And he was able to keep it.
Wow. Okay.
So...
at risk of chemical attack. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again,
I don't know how often that happens, but...
Did both people email with that same explanation?
Yes,
the
pretty
beards,
much.
The beard exemption.
Yes.
Or the beard.
The other one is one thing to know about beards in the military. I am now old, but back in the day, beards were prohibited because they could stop you from getting a tight seal on the gas mask and your skin. Right. This also includes masks for fighting fires, and in the Navy, which I was in, everybody is a firefighter. I do not know if this is still relevant, as apparently some religious people are also allowed to have beards. So, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that'd be interesting.
So, yeah, people from the military were quick to chime in and let us know what was what. That's cool.
dig it. Well, thank you for those of you in the military watching. We really appreciate what you do.
That's great.
Yeah. All right. So what is our next section? Do we go to another article, or should we move to the next piece? Should we do the shit internet apology? Can we do that?
The what?
Should we
If
do
you
that?
want to do it, we
Is
can
it
do
time?
it.
Is it too early?
We don't have a set time for it.
Well-
do it when it feels right.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
It's time for shit internet apologists say. Oh,
I'm going to like this segment. I hear a lot of shit from apologists.
Dun, dun, dun.
Usually it's about me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know this first.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Oh, you're disingenuous. You're not qualified to be doing what you're doing. How dare you pick on these poor, defenseless Christians or believers in general. Yeah,
they're so put upon.
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
They're so persecuted. Oh my God!
I got your attention. You're like into this.
Well, I want to know more. Yeah, I mean that's exciting to me. Do you ever get the you're not really an atheist? Or
no. There's I don't get that pushback. They know I'm an atheist. It's pretty clear.
Well, that's good. There's some who will say you aren't.
Oh no, you do get that you can't possibly be an atheist because you're breathing and you're obviously in denial.
Or but you deny it. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. But no, I don't really get a lot of pushback on you're not who you say you are. Or that kind of thing.
Yeah, Anthony, you bully.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a bully.
So you'll be completely unprepared for a presuppositionalist? Is that the one who says that there's a God, but you? Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Or that you can't know because you don't have God, and so there's no way for you to know anything.
And if you claim to know, then by default you're saying that God exists, or you're accepting my worldview and that type of thing.
Okay, how do you not blow your top when people are
precepts are pretty? Yeah, they test my patience the most. The presuppositionalists.
I honestly feel like I could throw rocks at your house and you'd be like, Eric, come on.
Hold the rock like this.
Come on, man. You're like one of the nicest human beings I know.
Thank you very much. That's very nice.
It's true. It is just absolutely true. You earned that. You bully. All right.
How does this segment go? Do we
This segment.
You read.
I read an article.
That
there's
an apologist say,
apologist.
and we bang our heads against the table.
Yes. This one.
We interpret.
Brian Fisher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Brian. You're cheating here.
Oh.
All right.
It doesn't have to be fresh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did I give away the... Are we supposed to guess who...
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, I wasn't sure if I was
nothing like that.
ruining the punchline or something.
I
not
honestly,
a game.
I honestly think we built it up too much.
It has no rules.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. On May 1st, the American Family Association's Brian Fisher had something to tell us. And do you want... I can give you some snippets, but I'll tell you first off, what he had to say was that the Constitution, our Bill of Rights, was made by Christians for Christians. And if you are not a Christian, you are not entitled to those rights.
Where does it say that? I have to ask him.
Well, it's just obvious. Don't you know?
It's obvious.
And so
I think the FFR should just close up shop. Yeah,
that's right.
There's no need for them anymore.
Obvious.
So let me give you the first quote. The blunt, simple, direct, straightforward answer is that Wiccans do not have First Amendment rights, nor do Muslims, nor do Jews, nor do Native Americans, nor do Rastafarians, nor do any practitioners of any other religion other than Christianity.
Well, what about atheists?
Moly. They say that we're a religion.
Do they now?
Well, some do, but I'd have to hear this guy say we are.
But by this definition, we wouldn't. I would imagine we wouldn't
be
covered.
I think we're included. I don't think we have any rights according to him.
No. He goes
Why
on.
would we?
He goes on. There's another quote here. Whatever the First Amendment is about, whatever protections it extends in the federal Constitution, those were just for Christianity. Christianity has First Amendment rights under the federal Constitution. No other religion does.
Wow.
Now, I take it, I have to assume this is according to the Supreme Court, right? Who interprets such things.
There's a higher court, Dennis, than the Supreme Court. I'll have you know.
No.
The Court of Angels, my friend.
The Court of Angels.
Now we're going to have to watch City of Angels. That was a good one. All right. Yeah, so Brian Fisher. So, I mean, what a terrifying world are we in where you have people and...
You have no rights.
You have no rights to speech. You cannot. You just, because it was made by Christians, and because it was made by Christians, according to Brian Fisher.
I wonder if he draws the line, though, at are Jehovah's Witnesses included in that? Mormons?
Good question.
Oh, those are Christian adjacent.
Are they the right Christians?
What sect precisely is what I want to know.
I would imagine it's going to probably be Brian Fisher's
all right,
flavor of Christianity.
Yeah.
And then we can ask what other Christians think of that.
Right? It doesn't even need us. You don't even need to be there. You can put anyone else in the chair that's not in the American Family Association, and they'll say...
I wonder how much of a reach this guy has, though.
Yeah.
How many people are listening to him? How many... It's kind of the Pat Robertson thing. How many people are really listening to what they say? Is he hitting 1 million people, or is this 10,000?
I don't know.
Are we amplifying and giving these people oxygen? I don't know.
You know, I've wrestled with that idea before, but I think that at this point, us being able to have the conversation about speech and about our rights as a community and what we grant each other is definitely worth it, because I need to live in a world where I can believe that most people know that this is fundamentally wrong. That would be so nice, wouldn't it? I'm still there. I'm still there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely good to have the conversation. I agree with you.
Yeah. So...
And try to stop it from gaining momentum. If this really is just a fringe thing, I think there's still some value to having the conversation, bringing attention to it, so that people might show up to vote who are afraid of this. You know.
Yeah. It's definitely a good thing that we don't have any highly religious people in the White House that would be doing anything like that. Right.
What a relief.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a long way to go.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah.
Oh, I just made myself sad.
Have a gumball.
I can't. It's glued shut.
Is it glued shut?
It is glued shut.
I'm glad you did, because I probably would have eaten one of those. The white ones are the best.
All right. So before we move to the next segment, do you have a question?
Oh, do I have a question? No, I did not come up with a question. I am such a bad host. Naughty host.
I should have asked ahead of time. That way I wouldn't put you on the spot. I apologize,
might have been
brother.
able to come up with something.
See, look at that. We're all real nice now. This is just, okay. All right. So do you want to move to another email?
Not sure. I'm not sure I've got much else.
Okay.
Here's one from Greg. Hey, everyone. I was browsing through Facebook and came across a friend who had recently received a big medical procedure.
Okay.
She's had a rough couple of years, and it appears that she has developed an interesting way of reconciling the suffering and pain that she's gone through with her belief in a good God. You don't have to know what God is doing. You just have to trust that whatever he's doing is good. It's essentially just a repackaged version of God works in mysterious ways, but somehow it's even more infuriating. If there is a God, then I would really like to know what they are doing. What function do they serve in our universe? If a God exists, why do I have to trust that everything they do is good? Why is it necessary for us to have blind allegiance to this entity?
Great question.
Yeah, you have to trust that it's good. Well, that basically means surrender any critical faculties you have.
Yeah, just believe it.
Surrender your judgment and just believe this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess is the whole root behind Christianity.
Yes.
You just have to believe this thing and you're okay.
You definitely see a lot of pushback on don't question it, accept it.
Oh, yeah.
Doubting is bad, and just usually take it on faith is usually
Take it on faith.
Comes down to.
Well,
trust that it's good.
And I,
But that sort of suggests that you don't care if it's really good.
Well, only God knows what's really good, Dennis. Yeah.
And you have to trust that what's doing it is God.
Yeah.
That's a thing I've always come up with is like Christians, some even claim they talk to God, right? Mm-hmm. But that means they have a superpower. They have a superpower that allows them to detect supernatural beings, and not only detect them, but 100% correct identification of the supernatural being.
Yep.
Which is weird because they have another supernatural being that is the father of lies, which they're in great fear of, but they all believe they are absolutely immune to
perfect sense to me.
his blandishments. His supernatural means of persuasion are they're completely immune to that. And it's like, wow.
Well,
we have these superpowers. Woohoo!
Yeah, who needs to be in an Avengers movie, right?
I know.
We've got our own.
Every Christian is like, I'm immune. Whee!
Until they get sick, and then it's your fault.
And then it's their fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know what the deal is. It's weird.
I was actually going to take that the other way is the problem of evil, is how you get to that and how you address that, because that's the other part of that question. It's the don't think about it. What do you not think about? The fact that terrible shit happens in the world. And
Well, this thing that says you don't have to know what God is doing, you just have to trust that whatever he's doing is good, basically says, it's basically saying that all terrible things that happen are just misunderstood good.
And free will. Can't forget free will.
And we deserve it. We deserve that wrath because of the fall of man, or
it's all just misunderstood good. It basically, it kind of explains evil away.
Yeah.
There's no more evil because it's just misunderstood good. Which is really creepy.
It's terrifying, man. It scares the heck out of me just to think that somebody would think that they would need to torture people and torment people that way.
God.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother
to get to a better good, right?
It's twisted.
Yeah.
Very twisted.
Well, I am really sad to say that the next story doesn't get better.
All right, go for it.
All right, this one is not from Patheos or Free Thought Blogs or...
Sorry, Hemant.
Right?
Yeah.
This is from CBS Minnesota.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know.
CBS.
Minneapolis. A Brooklyn Center pastor is accused
Okay.
of sexually assaulting a woman
Okay.
during a spiritual guidance session he called Deliverance.
Ooh, that's probably a bad choice of words, but okay.
According to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office.
I'm thinking that she's pregnant. He's helping her give birth to a baby, the Deliverance.
That,
Ooh.
again,
Boom.
is the nicest funny thing you could possibly say.
The nicest possible interpretation.
Right?
I'm too charitable, damn it. All right, what did he do?
I'm glad you're doing it because I couldn't. I don't. Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Mealy Freeman, 55, of Brooklyn Center, faces 2 felony counts of third-degree criminal sexual assault in connection to the September incident.
What did he do?
According to the complaint, I'm going to put a little graphic warning here, so if you're not super interested in listening to this, we're just not going to skip ahead a minute or two. According to the complaint, a 28-year-old woman reported she was sexually assaulted by her pastor, Freeman, at the Grace Mountaineer Tabernacle Church in Brooklyn Center. The victim told police that she knew Freeman for several years and considered him her spiritual father.
Okay.
She said she was seeking spiritual guidance on September 20th, and Freeman told her she needed a one-on-one session before Bible study. The complaint says that the practice of the church is to anoint parishioners with oil. At the session, Freeman allegedly gave the victim oil to drink, and they began to pray.
Drink oil?
Yep.
Okay.
The victim said she then fell out or became unconscious as part of the religious ritual.
This is Bill Cosby we're talking about here.
This is well, you know what?
Doesn't
Actually,
sound like oil. This sounds like roofie.
it does. It
does, doesn't
and
it?
Actually, if you read forward, which grosses me out, he Cosby'd her. Yes, that is a good.
They use the
Jesus
word.
Christ.
No, that's the. I'm interpreting that to
right.
Cosby as a verb.
It's
Oh,
now.
no.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oil.
And it happened a second time. So
Wow.
it happened more than once. This person thought that she was going to an authority, a spiritual
Yeah.
father figure.
What does she say happened to her other than blacking out? Was there more? You said he gives her oil, she blacks out, then wakes up, and that's happened twice.
Yes.
Where does the sexual assault come in?
The sexual assault came in while she was passed out. She woke up and
Okay.
clothes weren't in the right places.
Okay.
That's the part.
And there
That's
was
the piece I was missing.
Yeah.
There was oil.
Oil everywhere.
Yeah. Let's see. The victim said both Freeman and his wife tried to convince her not to report the incident to the police.
Oh, God, of course.
Before that, it says Freeman allegedly also said that his wife knows he sees women naked during deliverance events. And you don't ask what happens, you don't go into details, and that deliverance can be very tempting. Freeman is currently not in custody, and there is a warrant out for his arrest. If
Oh,
convicted,
good.
Freeman could face up to 15 years in prison per charge.
Excellent. Let's hope he gets caught. Damn. Yeah. These people, the unfortunate victims, they can be fooled by mere human beings,
Yeah.
but they know it's God talking to them and not the devil somehow.
You know, I really don't think that's the case on this one. I think that this gentleman used his position of power to
Oh, yeah. Oh,
to assault
beyond a
somebody.
doubt.
And
Yeah.
He was able to coerce them, though, more than likely, to come to him for the one-on-one deliverance, right?
yeah.
Because they bought into the belief system. Like,
He's the authority figure.
yeah, they deferred to his authority, and he took advantage of
Yeah.
it. That's terrible.
And it's something that we come across as a common theme is people being put in a position of unquestionable authority who then make these decisions and commit these crimes and feel like they're in a place where they can just be above the law.
Oh, yeah.
And-
yeah, because they've never suffered any consequences before.
And if things really get blown out of proportion in their view, then they just confess to their congregants and, and ask for their forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
I've
Right.
seen that.
Yeah.
A get out of shit free card. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for the
That's
victims.
disgusting.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Well, if you at home are pissed off, there are things that you can do.
Really? What
There
can we
are, absolutely. So one thing that you can do is you can visit the Freedom from Religion Foundation and donate. They are constantly putting up different lawsuits and protections. They're trying to protect people.
Good.
And they do a lot of fights in the public sphere. So if you haven't checked out the Freedom from Religion Foundation, now is the time. If you're upset, do it. Don't wait. Hop on. We will, that's okay. You can hop over and check it out because they do, and they report on this kind of stuff every month. They have a newsletter. It's really cool.
I just got mine in the mail today, and I love what do they call it? It's not the police blotter. Do you know what?
Yes, it's the black collar crime.
Black collar crime.
Yeah.
And it's at least 2 or 3 pages in very small
Sure, it
print
paints a horrific picture.
of stories just like that.
Yeah.
And
One after
it's
another.
Shocking. Yeah, it's shocking how pervasive.
And you
this
got
is.
to assume tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
How many people haven't come forward? How many? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably happening right now somewhere. Yeah, FFRF is awesome.
Absolutely.
I've been a member of that group since 2012 or something like that.
I think I've been a member since about 2014. So
Yeah.
heck yeah,
I
man.
want to do the lifetime membership, but
I cannot afford that.
it's like $1,000, right? Something like that.
Oh, man. Ouch.
I think it's
Can't do that.
$1,000.
Definitely. And also, if you are in the charitable mood, the Atheist Community of Austin is a 501c3 nonprofit.
Oh, you can donate to them.
It is a it's your donations that keep the lights on, everybody, and we really don't get that many. So please, if you're interested in continuing what we do, if you'd like to contribute to keep this content running, please do consider donating to the Atheist Community of Austin. You can find the donate tab at the top of our website.
Who is generating more content than the ACA right now? Like what organization? I don't think there's any other organization creating content as much as the ACA does.
I don't know.
Yeah, we got how many shows and
they're growing.
Non-profits, Talk Heathen, Atheist Experience, Godless Bitches,
Preaching Humanist.
Mr. Atheist, is that the new era?
Well, actually, Mr. Atheist has his own channel, but he's going to be coming out with something soon in collaboration. No, it's been stated. Okay. It's already out. Actually, next Friday, there's going to be a show, and I don't know if screw it. You know what? I'm going to say the name of it. Are you ready for this?
What's the name?
The Atheist Interviews.
All right.
And he's going to be doing an interview series.
Wow.
I know.
Great.
I wonder.
Awesome.
I wonder who his first interview guest would be.
I don't know.
Okay,
he has a lot to choose from.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be the first interview guest.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that.
You might be. I don't know.
Would you say he has a plethora of
He does.
A plethora of piñatas.
Well, you know what really makes
Love that show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Well, what really excites me about it is that just like why you are here, and just for that reason, you know, bringing up the FFRF, not just the ACA. Yes, you can donate, and we'd really appreciate your donations, and we don't get very many of them. But also, there are other organizations that are worth your time and worth your donations, and the FFRF is one of them. And not only that, but there are other voices in the atheist community that you're going to see. You get to see people highlighted on the atheist interviews that are going to be coming up. You get to see us work and create partnerships and grow that community. And I love it. And you're absolutely right. As long as we do that, as long as we can push each other up, as long as we can grow that, you know, the rising tide that lifts all boats, if we can help contribute to that, Anthony, I see you do that all the time.
I try to. Yeah. FFRF is awesome. Recovering from Religion.
Oh my gosh.
How could we forget them?
Oh, could not. I mean, the Hotline Project that they do is amazing. The Secular Therapy Project is fantastic.
Yeah, we got some good things. And I like how the organizations and the different shows support each other and try to promote each other and grow this thing.
Absolutely. And also, well, it's not just donations. I might see a note that says that you can join the ACA, but what if you don't live in Austin? Oh, you can still join the ACA?
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
You know what?
Membership.
Actually, no, I'm getting this. There are going to be member benefits that are going to be coming out this year. Oh, yeah, no, definitely join the ACA.
Yeah. But what if you live in Ohio?
What if you live in Ohio?
Can you join the ACA?
You can join the ACA.
What do you join it for a year and you have like a year membership? Is it annual?
Yeah.
What about Bulgaria?
You know what? Hold on. Yes, if you live in Bulgaria, if you live in Kazakhstan, China, Russia, Antarctica.
Wow.
Well, no, not
Antarctica.
No.
Screw those guys.
Yeah, right?
Too damn cold there.
Those damn Antarcticans.
You know what? It's their own fault that they're there.
All right.
I think I've done enough shilling.
Yeah. All right. That was great.
All right. So, do you have an email that you'd like?
I got no more email.
You got no more emails?
Oh, we need more people to email in.
Yeah.
We do. Well, so I do have one more email. Well, I have a couple more emails. I'm not going to lie.
Go for it.
All right. Hello, all. English is not my first language, and nor am I a natural writer. But despite those, I hope you get to understand the general idea of my email below. First thing we're going to say is it doesn't matter. You emailed in, and we very much appreciate it. We love getting them in, and it really is fantastic. The general elections held on May 9th, 2018 is the first time since its independence from the British in 1957 in which there is a change of government. Barrison Nacional BN, directly translated into English as National Front, is a coalition of several parties, had been winning all the elections since 1957, which are held at least every 5 years. Mm-hmm. However, yesterday, BN were ousted by another coalition called Parti, and I'm going to mess this up real bad.
Okay.
Keadilan Rakyat, PKR, People's Justice Party.
Okay.
As a Malaysian, it's Malaysia. Okay, I was kind of sunk it in there,
I
right?
was wondering, which country we're talking about.
I had no idea.
We got there.
We did. We got there together.
So it's the People's what? The
People's Justice Party.
Gosh, I hope
Parti
that's an accurate.
Well, let's find out. As a Malaysian, I am delighted with this, and from the point of view of my secular outlook in life, this is almost a lifesaver. All right.
Ooh, okay, good.
Malaysia of my childhood in the 70s and 80s were secular, and although most people profess belief in religions, mainly Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, and Christianity, we never really take religions to the public sphere. Things started to change in the 80s, and Islam was taken more and more seriously with each passing year. The main opposition to the BN government was another political party, which is Parti Islam se Malaysia, PAS. They had been gathering more and more support over the years, and with each election, PAS had been the party or part of a coalition of parties that is the closest challenge to BN's coalition of parties. This election yesterday was the first time ever that PAS is not part of the coalition parties to challenge BN.
Wow.
PAS pretty much was on their own. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the PKR coalition of parties won the election. So I am overjoyed with the fact that PAS is now sidelined for the first time in a general election. I hope the Islamicization of Malaysia will slow down now. I hope.
Yeah.
And this is from Dean in Malaysia.
Wow.
You know, we were just talking about Brian Fisher. I think this is a little more important, right? You see entire governments changing. When's the last time you heard of secular parties winning?
Not in this country.
I mean, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, in the countries that are already secular, it's fairly regular, but
Norway,
changing as Finland. This one does.
Thank you for the clarification. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that is unusual. That is really unusual. I know a place where I wish it would happen. Another place where I wish it would happen. Yeah.
You know what? We're going to get there. We're going to get there because us and our listeners and all of the other people that are joining in that we were just talking about, we're fighting it, we're working and we're talking about it. You cannot silence that. We do, even though Brian Fisher says we do not have the right to speak up.
We get to say who has rights and who doesn't.
That's right. We being all of us, not the atheists. We're not that bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a lot of email from people outside the U.S.?
We do. We get a lot from Australia,
New Zealand,
Okay.
Northern European, the Scandinavian countries.
We
UK,
get stuff
Germany,
from all over. Yeah,
that's great.
Canada, America's hat.
Canada.
They actually have internet up there now, I hear. See, you're going to get the hate mail. I'm not.
Oh yeah. Because you don't have to worry about it.
True.
That's right.
Send your hate mail.
He'll just forward it to you.
Chipping pixels out of rocks. Yeah, it's like.
I love it. All right. So that is the email. Are we going to move? Does anybody else have a news story that they would like to bring up before I pull another one out of the hat?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
Damn it.
I was listening to some news on the way up here, but nothing really atheist related, secular.
Yeah. It's got to have that religious angle.
I'll take your next article.
So I'm pulling the weight this episode.
You are. I'm afraid you are.
Do you do this to Russell?
Sometimes, yeah. Basically, usually in the show, I don't read anything.
You don't read anything?
I just respond. Russell does the news, and Jeff did the emails. And I just sat there and reacted to everything. I did the intro and outro.
Okay.
All right, that means
we
you
all
have
had
to
our
be
little
Jeff
part to play.
Are there any more emails?
That means you got to get really, really angry. Okay, so.
So
I've been trying to do emails and stuff, but
I've got a killer Pope impression.
I'm not as good as Russell at that.
No, I don't. I can't do it justice like Jeff would do.
All right. Well, let's see if anybody in the chat had anything that they wanted to add. No.
Somebody tweeted that Magnabosco is boring AF. So I'm thinking, AF. What does that stand for?
He's a friend.
Boring as a friend.
Boring as a friend.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That means
Sorry
it's
about that.
understandable.
That's from Storm. Sorry about that, Storm.
All right. So I need to dive back into the Twitter, so you need to give me just a minute. So,
bam, by all means. I have, I've always had these weird questions I wanted to ask Christians and stuff. And it's like, you know, it's like, I always wanted to ask, you know, it's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, I suppose it could be this darn segment. I don't know if I've asked this before on this show, but I probably have. But it's like, I'd like to ask, you know, a Christian, if you could go back in time. It's a silly question. If you could go back in time and rescue Jesus from the crucifixion, would you do it?
Ooh.
And I've asked it on forums. I've asked it on, like, you know, Why Won't God Heal Amputees and some other atheist forums and stuff. I've never gotten an unqualified yes. I've even gotten some no's.
Yes,
and I just go,
yeah.
Wow.
If they stop
So you wouldn't lift a finger to rescue the guy you claim to love the most for being tortured and killed.
Your Lord and Savior,
awesome.
Jesus Christ. Screw him.
And I have to go, you know, I have to assume that that's because if you did that, you would lose your salvation. So you're not willing to sacrifice your salvation for Jesus.
When he would sacrifice
everything for you.
3 days.
For 3 days. Well, yeah.
Good question.
Because he, I mean, come on. He's got shit to do. Like, he's not going to be down for that long.
I can't be dead that long, man.
All right.
So, yeah.
So we had somebody send in a lot of Betsy DeVos.
Oh, boy.
Our new
there's a character.
Education secretary, I believe.
Yeah.
Seems very
Our
qualified.
new de-education secretary. Yeah.
De-education. Yeah.
The one thing we can't do is get too darn biased.
Well, actually, I looked into it. You
really? You can?
You just can't. You can't
say vote for this person
exactly.
or vote for that?
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
You can criticize them to hell and gone?
Why don't you try?
All right. No, trying to criticize them usually just devolves into a series of expletives that
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
So, that's kind of tiresome.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But, so, yeah, what did Betsy DeBoss say?
Betsy.
Nothing that I can tell has to do with religion. Just everybody who's sending stuff in right now is really, really pissed off that Betsy DeVos exists, apparently.
I think the latest headline
wouldn't be surprised.
The latest headline that I read about Mrs. DeVos, was that she's getting frustrated because people under her are not following through with her wishes, that there's some resistance within the organization to carry out what she's intending to do.
Thank God for other people.
Yeah. So there do seem to be some checks and balances here.
Wow.
Yeah.
How dare they have checks and balances?
Yeah, it's like the way to resist is just to go, you know, oh, sure, no problem. I'll
get right on that.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah. My people will call your people.
All right. So, okay, I do have one now.
Sure.
Okay, so this one is from The Guardian.
Ooh.
And The Guardian has to say, so let me give you the...
I'm on tenterhooks.
Right? well, let me give you... It's
Avatar.
So it is an editorial, but it is based on an article that I have I'm still yet to be able to find and pull up, but you're stuck with it now. The alliance between fundamentalist Protestants and Roman Catholics cannot survive the humiliations of evangelical support for President Trump.
Run that by me again.
Okay, so The Guardian, there was an article that is putting forward that the Protestants and Catholics, who generally don't mix very well, they have put it aside for a while to vote for politicians that have views similar to both of them.
Not unexpected,
But it's starting to wreck that kind of relationship.
It's starting to unravel?
Yeah. So
you can always depend on infighting.
Atheism has none of that.
Goodness.
Okay, so one of the most interesting and important developments in the American culture wars, which is to say in American politics and self-understanding, is playing out inside the major Christian groups there. Evangelical Christianity and Roman Catholicism. The Southern Baptist Convention, the largest fundamentalist grouping, has been roiled by the discovery of a sermon in which Paige Patterson, one of its leaders, boasts that he counseled an abused woman to stay with her husband, even when she came to him with 2 black eyes.
I remember that about 2-3 months ago.
I actually saw that for real in my church. Like, that was a real thing.
No kidding.
Yeah, no, that is real life for sure. Almost 3,000 Southern Baptist women signed a letter demanding that the 75-year-old Mr. Patterson lose his job as head of a seminary.
Oh, yeah.
For the last 30 years, the alliance between Catholics and white evangelicals has been an enormously powerful force on the right of American politics. It was based around a common opposition to abortion, a cause to which evangelicals came relatively late, and a wider suspicion of feminism. Apart from that, the two groups have little in common demographically, culturally, and even economically. The economic model of American evangelical Christianity has been fantastically successful, based around marketing, merchandising, and vigorous competition between preachers for congregations. And when you adopt the methods of the entertainment industry, you will also imbibe some of its values.
Horrible.
I know. One result has been the growth of mega churches.
Yeah.
Where the American, that's you knew where it was going right there, right?
Oh,
Crystal
yeah.
Cathedral.
Oh, yeah.
Prosperity.
When they
That
brought
is
in
the next
entertainment.
thing
Yeah.
It says
Is it?
prosperity gospel, yes. Which teaches that the rewards God wants for his followers are to be obtained in this world.
Right. Republican Jesus. Yes.
Oh, he's got some money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The big names of that world, such as Paula White, the thrice married woman who counseled President Trump. Well, that's a little editorialized right there. You got to kind of throw that in.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been married 3 times, Christian woman.
You're a hypocrite.
Well, it's just stating a fact. It's not.
It's kind of implied that she's being hypocritical.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's actually directly,
Directly
baked
addressed.
Who counsels President Trump, where reality stars before the Kardashians, showing off their wealth as evidence that God blessed them. At the same time, here's the counter. At the same time, the organized Catholic Church has been aging and shrinking. It has maintained a degree of intellectual prestige and self-confidence, but congregations have melted away, so that former Catholics could now form the third largest religious grouping in the U.S. The scandal-battered clergy is split into liberal and conservative parties, both believing that they are more Catholic than the Pope?
Sure.
Oh, I can't. I'm going to follow that. New York Times. Okay, no, I'll post it if you don't believe it. Only an influx of Hispanic immigrants maintains the church on the ground.
Oh.
You know what? I was
Interesting.
actually from a predominantly Latino community, and that was the case in my community.
Yeah. It's all about the.
I was raised in a Catholic household.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I had to go back for a funeral. One of my close friends passed away about a year ago, I think. And we went to the Catholic Church, and it had to be 30 years, maybe 20 years since I've been to that church. And what was interesting is that over the years, they removed about a third of the pews from the front in order to bring the priest closer to the people, mind you.
Right.
It's not that they were losing people, and that they wanted to cover up the possibility that the congregation is getting smaller. But I was sitting there at this service and thinking, oh my gosh, this is actually kind of nice to see.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, I took a picture of it.
Nice. If you're taking and sharing pictures, where can people follow you, Anthony?
I do have an Instagram, but it's pretty lame.
It is pretty lame?
Yeah. I can probably dig up that picture. I'll put it on my Instagram.
So if people wanted to follow you or find you on YouTube or podcast or anything like that,
promote your stuff, Anthony.
They couldn't find you anywhere?
Go to my Twitter, Magnabosco. My last name. Very simple.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you spell Magnabosco again? I want to...
Magnabosco.
So it's Magnabosco?
You got it. And I think my Instagram is the same last name, but 210 at the end of it for San Antonio area code.
All right.
Yeah.
No YouTube or
you can find all you can find all that from my Twitter.
You
are really
very kind. All right, I'm giving you the floor.
If you go to my Twitter, you'll find all that stuff. There's a link to my top 10 favorite videos on my YouTube channel.
This guy.
On my Twitter.
This guy. Cool. All right. So, it just goes on that they are splitting apart, and as things are going on in the current administration, that it's splitting them along lines that they just can't. They
can't bridge.
They're evolving. They're trying to stay afloat, and we're witnessing.
Well, reading all the scandals and stuff, it's like I keep asking why are there still Catholics?
What is it gonna
I mean,
take?
it's obvious. It's just a big criminal organization.
When I do this street epistemology stuff, I ask people to stop and talk about a belief, and I ask them to pick it. And if they pick the God one, then we sort of unpack like what specific God did they believe in. And I noticed that Catholics, somewhat sheepishly, it seems, reveal that they're Catholic.
Really?
Yeah, like there's
weird.
They're almost sort of I was raised Catholic, but I think I'm more of a Christian now, or I'm a Catholic.
Oh, weird.
It seems like that the stigma for admitting that you're Catholic seems to be, at least in my personal experience, seems to be noticeably
they've earned it.
Problematic.
Yeah, they've earned it.
Yeah, I
because they're the ones with a whole hierarchy and a guy at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so if shit goes wrong, I mean, if their scandals go all the way to the top, then it's clear the whole thing's corrupt,
Well, but the interesting thing is on the other side of it, it doesn't matter if it's corrupt, because if you're a believer, then you're just really sad that it's corrupt, but you still think that they have a hold on the truth. I mean, can you imagine being in that dissonant position where you're just thinking,
awful,
oh my gosh, my only connection to truth, reality, and a life after death that is pleasant comes through these twisted channels.
Got to be careful what you hook your wagon up to,
Right?
Yeah, the Catholics, if I remember correctly, even though I was raised with it and went to Catholic school for 8 years, and I think they believe that the Pope is infallible. They have that papal infallibility. So whatever that Pope decides, that is directly from God. He's being guided from God. And I think that would be a real struggle if the Pope is saying things that you disagree with, or allowing things to go terribly in the church. Then I think that'd be a big struggle for a believer to sort of come to deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, that suggests a terrible question to ask a believer is that, do you disagree with God on anything?
That's a good question.
Well, that's
a really good one.
Yeah.
I have heard an argument.
Sure, it'd be easy for them to say no, but still.
Or sure, there are things.
The more thoughtful ones might kind of go, wait a minute.
There are things that I wonder about, but ultimately, it's God's way or the highway.
It's kind of weird, though. It's like Jesus is there to offer salvation. Salvation from what? Well, from what God will do to you if you don't get salvation, right? He'll send you to hell.
Yeah.
So obviously they think hell is too bad. They disagree that hell is the appropriate punishment for how they're behaving. So they do the whole Jesus salvation thing to escape that. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, hell is perfect justice, perfect divine justice. and they seek to avoid perfect divine justice? It's weird.
Yeah. It's self-preservation.
Yeah.
All right. I got a really good one from the comments.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The comments.
Yes. And this one is actually from Janet. If you don't know Janet, you got to know Janet. All the cool kids know Janet.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll have to get to know Janet.
I will introduce you to Janet.
And you're no Janet.
So this is from KSL.com. It is a Utah news station.
Mm-hmm.
What church do you think is going to be this one?
Utah?
Utah. I'm going to say the Latter-day Saints.
The Church of Latter-day Saints.
Could be.
Let's find out. Salt Lake City, the LDS Church. Well, that got it pretty quick, huh? The LDS Church and a former missionary training center president asked a federal judge in separate court filings today to dismiss a Colorado woman's lawsuit alleging the church leader raped her while she was a missionary there in early 1984.
Wow.
I don't think it's just the Catholics, man.
No.
Noticing a trend here.
Right? Both the church and Joseph L. Bishop say the statute of limitations claim has run out. And so
Oh, God.
It was 84.
Right.
the purpose of statutes of limitations is clear. This is a quote
Yeah.
from Bishop's lawyer, Andrew Dice.
Andrew Dice.
They are legislative expressions of public policy that encourages potential plaintiffs to bring their actions promptly before the case gets stale from lost evidence or faulty memories.
Right.
Because, you know, after long enough, it doesn't count, apparently. Right?
Well, there are laws in place. What's the statute of limitations? 20 years?
Something like that, yeah.
This was 84.
So it
Yep.
says LDS Church attorney David Jordan contends Denson's assault claim expired in early 1985, 1 year after the event.
Whoa, wait. I didn't think it was 1 year.
Thus,
I don't know the details.
yeah. Denson, 55 of Pueblo, Colorado, sued Bishop, who's 85 years old, of Chandler, Arizona, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints last month in U.S. District Court for sexual assault and battery, negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress, fraud, fraudulent nondisclosure, and fraudulent concealment.
Ooh.
That's a couple. Bishop has
Right.
denied the allegations. The suit...
Of course.
Yeah. You know, you have to wonder if you really got these people's interests at heart. Why the heck are you making it so hard for them to speak up when terrible things happen? I mean, whose side are you on?
Right.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder what were the mechanics going on to dissuade her from coming forward earlier?
Right.
Yeah.
I would imagine
I'm sure there was some pressure.
Oh, yeah.
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 So let's see. The suit is asking for a jury trial. And
Where do they hold it? You said she lives in Arizona now?
it looks
Or
like
she's in Colorado.
it looks like it would happen in Utah, though, the lawsuit.
Right.
And she is apparently saying that she's upset because she didn't know that the church hadn't done something about it already.
Oh, so maybe that prompted her to come
Maybe she
forward.
reported it to those higher up, and they said, we'll handle it.
It got squashed.
And nothing happened.
That might be. I think if anybody who is listening knows more about the story, please send it in because I'm actually really interested about that. So we have that, and I'm going to pop in one more, and this time I'm just clicking it blind. Let's see. Are we ready? A school district in Oregon, this is from CNN, is accused of forcing LGBTQ students to read the Bible as punishment.
Well,
It is kind of funny.
gosh, I'm torn.
Have you ever read that thing?
I have.
It's terrible.
It's horrible. Oh man. Okay, now I need to find out if they they cannot be thinking very hard about this punishment, can they? Okay. A school teacher in Oregon is accused of a disturbing pattern of intimidation and harassment against LGBTQ students. Among the allegations, students were forced to read the Bible as punishment, and a teacher compared gay marriage to marrying a dog.
Well, they can't tell the difference.
It's the slippery slope argument.
It is.
Yeah.
They're trying to scare them straight. Is that what we're talking about here?
I don't know. Let's continue. In a letter this year, the State Department of Education found that the school district in North Bend, a coastal community in southern Oregon, discriminated against students on the basis of sexual orientation. Quote, there is substantial evidence to support the allegation that the district subjected LGBTQ students to separate or different rules of behavior, sanctions, or other treatment, the letter said.
Yep.
Allegations were detailed in a letter from the Education Department to North Bend School. Among them, are we ready? A student said she was hit in the head with a skateboard by another student who made homophobic comments. When the victim complained to the school resource officer, the officer was dismissive and said homosexuality was a choice and not in line with their personal religious beliefs.
So's violence, asshole.
Damn.
Right?
Skateboard to the head.
Violence is a choice, dickwad.
Holy
Guy didn't have to
crap.
hit anyone with a goddamn...
And then what do? They say, okay, if you're gay or trans, we need you to go in this other room and sit down and read the Bible?
The Bible.
Let's see. That's actually the next one. A student was required by the superintendent
Oh, yeah, we're going to see action on this problem.
to read a passage from the Bible as punishment on at least 2 occasions. The building administrator acknowledged in an interview with state education officials that he required Bible reading as a form of discipline. At least he admitted it.
Yeah. At least he admits it's freaking terrible. Yeah.
Well, he admits that it's terrible to read, and at the same time, what kind of dumbass would implicate himself so directly?
What did you learn about from reading the Bible? Let's see. My takeaway was something about issue of horses. I can't.
And you're an asshole. I learned you're an asshole.
Yeah, you're an asshole. That's good.
During a class discussion, this is the next bullet point. During a class discussion, a teacher said, if same-sex marriage is okay, what about marrying your dog? It's about the same thing.
God, no.
What?
No.
Oregon, I am disappointed.
Really?
What's the year on this article?
Yeah.
Well,
1932?
Well,
33?
You know what? Actually, it is May 11th, 2018. But when you go there, you need to set your clocks back about 50 years.
Yeah.
So, time difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. I could see why that would make the news.
Yeah, the superintendent. Yeah, the only thing that's going to change that school is lawsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you get the FFRF to come in or the...
And basically, get them in
ACLU,
the pocketbook because that's the
ACLU.
only thing they understand.
Yeah, if this is a public school, they are in trouble.
This isn't the first, and actually it was the FFRF that had flown an article that blew my mind. It was a teacher who had burned a cross into a child's arm. Did you read about that one?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That was years and years ago, but yeah.
I don't care
know.
how
Oh,
long
I know,
ago it is.
I know.
I bet that scar is still there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hot wire or something like that.
Yeah.
What?
But you know what? It's not so intense, but I have seen it here in Texas. I have seen school districts. They do put up, the In God We Trust, and they do put up the little prayer things, and they do have the moment of silence,
Yes.
and they have made sure that they say the Texas pledge. You know the Texas pledge?
I don't know it, but my kids have to recite it. When they were in middle school.
That's horrible.
Grade school.
Honor
you know it.
the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee. Texas, one state under God,
God, there we go.
one and indivisible.
Now in Spanish.
Get out.
My kids in grade school had to recite the Pledge of Allegiance
I'm not worthy.
in English and Spanish, and then the pledge to the state of Texas in English and Spanish.
Okay.
So I think like 5 minutes a day probably was spent doing pledges.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 3 minutes.
When one's too many, as far as I'm
Oh
concerned.
my
Good
gosh!
God.
Yeah. Do one at the start of the year and be done with it.
Geez, I couldn't pledge to do my homework or clean my room, more or less pledge my life to a government or a state entity. So, yeah, that's fun.
Wow, yeah.
If you want to get involved, make this a call to action.
We got to assure these people, if you really want to punish the kids, force them to read Harry Potter. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, the kids will hate it. Really.
Ooh.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, definitely. If you are a school administrator, definitely check that out. It is a good option.
Harry Potter just drives them nuts. They hate it. Yeah.
I've never read that book. Got interested.
What?
Yeah. Never. I went to the movie once and I was like, "What? This is crazy."
What the hell is all this stuff?
I had an employee once who was playing the audiobook and I just couldn't get into it.
No.
Never took.
The first book is like weirdly emotionless. It's strange. Huh. Very British, I think.
It was so subversive for me because in my church, I was still in church when the first Harry Potter books came out, and it was all satanic panic. We're teaching the children magical spells and witchcraft, and they really thought the kids were doing fucking magic.
Lavosa.
And that probably was inspirational. Like, oh, we're doing something cool here. Right? They don't want us to do this, so let's keep doing it.
Oh, I read the shit out of
these are the
those
same
books.
people who think you dress up for playing D&D,
Hold on, you don't? Bro, we need to up your D&D game.
Cosplay unnecessary.
Lightning bolt. All right. I know. That's LARPing. We do not need that email. Okay.
I need a 12-sided die stats.
Oh, do you want to roll up a character? I will roll you up a character
Let's do it.
tonight. You want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
I run games in the Star Wars universe. Oh, wait.
Ooh.
I've given up Star Wars.
We're going to have to fight after the show. I don't know if I can.
Lightsabers?
I don't know if I can be your friend.
Yeah, ever since that last movie, I'm done. I'm out. Which is really sad because I was so into Star Wars growing up as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
1977, I think Star Wars came out. We saw it in the theater. I think the first week that it came out.
Yeah.
It was instrumental in my life growing up.
I played hooky in college to go see that.
Oh, yeah? And every movie since, second day, we'd usually go and catch it.
The thing is, my physics professor played hooky with me to go see that. So that's good.
Okay, this is upsetting.
Group.
So hold on. You're saying that a movie caused you to ditch Star Wars, and it was not the prequel movies.
Oh, that is funny. Yeah, the prequels. Now that
you stuck through Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is what did it for you?
It's shocking. Yeah. maybe it was the straw that broke your back. The back of my addiction to Star Wars. But yeah, the prequels, as bad as they were, I stuck through it. But
I'm bringing you back in.
This last one, what they did to Luke is unforgivable. So I'm out.
I am going to introduce you.
As my wife was looking for a shirt for Star Wars Day, and she wanted to wear it to work, and I said, I don't have any more. I got rid of them.
You threw them away? You were so intense, man.
They are in a bag to donate.
Oh, okay.
So she was rifling through the bag and pulled one of them out. Wow. But yeah.
I think we're about the same size. You could donate some this way.
I'll give them to you.
Do it.
I've got
this is what we're going to get mail about.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
We should have led with the Star Wars bit.
Is what we're going to get mail about.
You know what? Actually, unfortunately, as much as I'm enjoying my time with you guys, it is about that time.
Oh.
Wow, that was fast. What time is it?
I know.
Oh, shoot. It's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk us out?
Well, first
you got an announcement to make?
Well, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you so much to both of you. I really, really have enjoyed this. I want to thank Phil for making the amazing animations. And if we have time, can we bring up the animation for Dennis Has a Question? We didn't have to get to have it, but I just want to see it.
I sort of just sprang it. I have a question.
I love that. That's cool.
Awesome. That is awesome.
Man.
We want to
say
thank you to Phil and thank you to everyone in the back who's making this happen. Vernon, Mark, we want to thank those who are in the live studio audience. You have come out. It is 9 o'clock on a Wednesday, and you are here, and we appreciate you. We're all going to have some food together. And
well, thanks for driving the episode, man.
Yeah, I limped us through it a little bit.
You did great.
It's all right.
This worked great.
That was fun.
All right, Dennis.
Off that.
Anything?
No, I don't really have too much to add. This was cool. This was really cool being on your show, and I think I'm going to be visiting you maybe in August.
Yes, in August we're going to have you on Talk Heathen. Yeah. It is long overdue.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'd just like to thank the Academy for.
Dennis has been on. He rocked it with me. We absolutely loved it.
It was fun. Yeah. Man. Anytime you want me on there again, let me know.
I must have missed that episode. You were on.
Yeah.
And you ditched Star Wars?
Special.
Yeah. He's still on the Star Wars thing.
Oh, dude, I'm never not going to be on the Star Wars thing. All right.
I'll have to catch
Take us out?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Well, that was our show, and it's not my fault. Look, we'll be back with another goddamn episode in 3 weeks, on June the 6th. Until then, do whatever the hell you want, just don't expect me to participate.